Hey everyone, Digital Six here, and I'm just participating in the Show Your Face YouTube challenge. It's not a real challenge, just somebody wants to be a snide commenter on my video about making VRChat friends. No, that's fine. Yeah, you know what? It's not a problem. Using VRChat to make videos because it's convenient does not necessarily mean I want to hide, but if I wish to hide, there's nothing wrong with that either. So I just want to highlight that because there is a variety of people in VRChat, and we're not all the same. We're quite different. You'd be surprised at who all finds enjoyment from the game. And the advantage of VRChat is you can leave all the dumb, stupid, judgmental BS from this real world behind and catch a break and simply enjoy people for who they are and be enjoyed for who you are and have a great time. And so you cannot knock that app until you've tried it, especially in VR. It's good on desktop too. You'll get a feel for the kind of people that are in there if you want to play on desktop, and you can jump in. And then later on, if you're able to get VR, that's fine as well. But this is why a lot of my content on VR is what it is. That's why I recommend what I recommend and what I think makes a quality headset. It's all largely driven by VRChat, because VRChat is a unique experience that only VR technology has made available to us. No other form of chatting or internet connection can compare. And even other apps in VR have not managed to capture some of what VRChat can capture. So it's really good, and you can't knock it, and you would be surprised who all's in there. I'm not an anime fan. I wasn't even a traditional gamer before I started to play. I discovered VR before I could have been considered a gamer, and even now, it's still more of a social thing for me than actual gaming. I do own several games. I own more games than I did before having VR. But a good chunk of those games I own because now I have a gaming PC, so why not? The cost of the games is not terrible, but needing to invest so much in hardware to play any particular game is hard to justify. But once you have it justified and you own it, it pays off for many other things. And so that's another part of the cost and value equation that gets overlooked, is you may not have to have a gaming PC to play simple VR games on an Oculus Quest, but if you have a gaming PC, you're not limited to VR content to use that PC for. And so the investment that makes your VR experience better makes a lot of other things optional for you too. And so case in point, I like Tetris Effects. It's awesome in VR, but it's also excuse me, incredible in desktop. It's now available on the Quest, and that's pretty decent, but it's not the same as having it available on the PC VR version and available also for desktop play in high resolution. But I digress. This is not really all about technology. In this case, it's more like, I'm out here in the country, single father. I've got got a skeet thrower right there. I mean, I don't think I'm at all fitting in with the typical idea of what people think when they see VRChat. So, yeah, I don't mind showing up on here. It just isn't normally relative to my content. And as a single father and student, it's not very convenient for me to keep a space available to at all look YouTube-ish enough, if that makes sense. I do not have at the moment any space that can make I can make any kind of professional grade content. I'm changing things around and whatnot. So anyways, YouTube, it's not easy. For those people that are successful with it, they can justify the time and effort that it takes. For people trying to start off, they may try to for a little while, but if you're like me and you just simply don't have the time, well, it's great to have a way like VRChat to still make content and share relatively easily. And, at some point that could then justify better efforts. Excuse me. But that point is not just yet. So, yeah, if I had more content that I needed to share from a standard camera, I would certainly consider it, but that's really hard to do. Like I could do a lot of DIY videos, but generally when I'm doing something myself, I've got to get it done, and it's ridiculous how much time and distraction goes into trying to be aware of camera angles. And if I've tried it, and a lot of times I've just slowed myself down, and I still managed to miss critical pieces of the puzzle to make a quality video when it's all said and done. It's just generally, it's not worth trying to do. It's like, I mean, and it sucks. Like if you're trying to create content, you're like, oh, this would make a great video, but I got to get it done too, and that becomes a problem. So, like I recently had to replace a septic line along that building there, and I had to bust up concrete, cut it through. There's a lot of good content potential in that terrible job, but I had to get that terrible job done, and so there was no way in that I could have been fooling with cameras and narrating and even being worried about that at the same time I got the job done. I digress. I'm Digital Sticks, and yeah, this was really me. And sure, if I could bring my headset and everything out here, why not? But as you see, I got to get. Now I could probably do my final leaf job of the season. That'd be nice. But all right, well, I'm out, and I'll see you from the virtual side later on.